I think it's forced us to look at how we work a little bit differently. So things that may have been sort of put on the shelf to address later have really sort of come to the forefront. So, engineers being asked to do more with sort of less time.
I think it has really shown what folks in these organisations are able to do when the pressure really gets put on them. And these organisations are filled with very, very intelligent, very capable people who have been able to do just brilliant work kind of thrust upon them because of the COVID-19 crisis. If you have an organisational culture that is willing to take careful, considered risks, is happy to let people try to innovate, is also willing to give people some space potentially to not succeed, to potentially try something and realise that it doesn't work. If you give them that and you provide them with a technology stack, like a cloud stack that helps amplify that, you can do brilliant things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being able to take risks and measured risks and being encouraged to do that with a platform that allows you to do that confidently is really key. So I think the reason a lot of organisations are looking to adopt a DevOps approach to things is around technology itself not being the enabler that I think a lot of people think that it is. So you can have a fantastic cloud platform, you can have all the automation in the world. If your teams aren't built around a DevOps culture, you're going to struggle to take that next step forward into really changing how you're doing things like releases and how frequently.
Agree, and there's an element here I think as well of not wanting to be left behind when you're in the market, especially as competitors and other organisations start to adopt DevOps practices and they see the immediate benefits that do come from it. Faster releases, higher quality releases, more features out the door to their customers sooner. Other organisations look at that and go, we need to change as well, otherwise we're going to get left behind. I think one of the primary things, and this is common across both public sector and private sector, is there's ongoing drive to do more with what they have, or potentially even with a little bit less, depending on how the budgets and the finance is starting to shake out. And the only way really to do that, I think, is to make sure that your development, your operations teams, they're able to be far more efficient at what they do on a day-to-day basis. It's also questions, I think, around, hey, what are the best patterns and practices that I can use when I'm looking to build new capabilities? Do I have to go and create authentication frameworks from scratch, or can I use something that's been provided through a vendor or a partner or through the open source community that we know is going to be functional, capable, will meet the organisational requirements, meets the security posture that we've got?
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity too to look at, do I need to be doing this task? Is there a partner that could probably do this for me?
As people are creating these new concepts, these new ideas, and using some of these new tools and technologies, I think it's also really important to have a partner in the background as well, but making sure that it's going to work securely, reliably, meet the business outcomes as well. Yeah,
definitely. And I think this is definitely a role where partners can play a significant role. A lot of organisations are sort of embarking on their cloud journey, doing it alone and figuring things out for the first time. And, they'll make mistakes and they should make mistakes. But a partner can sometimes help accelerate their path through to a successful outcome.
I think picking the right partners is absolutely key on that. And from the Red Hat perspective, we have 23 plus years of experience in open source communities. And we firmly believe that all of the innovation that's coming out in the software space is really coming out of those open source communities. But this is where other partners as well, like Microsoft, come in because of their commitment towards the open source community and some of the collaborative work that we've been doing with Microsoft, like Azure Red Hat OpenShift or Microsoft SQL Server running on top of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And this is where I think picking a partner like Lab3 is really important because, as we've mentioned already, these kind of journeys, there are potentially pitfalls, there are dragons, there are things hiding behind every rock. And a partner like Lab3, who's kind of been there in the trenches, who's seen how this works with other customers, can bring that collective knowledge to you and make it available, and then engage with those various service partners like Red Hat and Microsoft on your behalf.
Client centricity is one of the things that, we Lab3 have really found refreshing working with Microsoft, is that it is that continual drive to get the best outcome for the customer, be it Red Hat on top of a Microsoft platform.
And they're willing to work with partners like Lab3 or Red Hat and collaborate jointly, openly and transparently with them to create products and solutions and product and solution stacks that are best placed to help solve a problem that those customers are really facing. And that collaboration is brilliant.